Okay, so in this video, we are going to be discussing how to be authentic to engender trust. All right, so in order to really, engender trust, people have to look at us and really feel like we're being authentic and just not selling them. In the past, marketers tried to glamorize their products or services in a way that was clearly inauthentic. The type of hype seems to have really jaded a lot of consumers who are pretty savvy in today's time. They are more likely to turn a deaf ear to outrageous claims or over the top commercial images than to pay attention. They do not engender trust. The newer way to generate trust is not to try and pull the wool over anyone's eyes, but rather to be authentic with our product and who we are. In the age of social networking and social marketing, more and more people are beginning to learn the value, of their social reputation. A reputation that is misrepresented is one that is not trustworthy. If a person is not trustworthy, they do not have enough credibility to sell anyone in such a transparent environment. What will happen is that others in the social network will appear to warn people about the lack of authenticity in their social reputation will plummet along with their sales. Now, you can be authentic without necessarily being a squeaky clean moralist. Authenticity basically means that you have enough integrity to express things exactly as they are. If you're a person who sells diet advice but can't be bothered to control your own diet, the lack of integrity is going to come back to bite you in a social network situation. However, if you are authentic and say that you could never stay on any diet and didn't see the reason for them, and then you found this diet and it helped you lose 50 pounds, then you are being authentic. Thus, it becomes more and more important to believe in the products and services you are selling, to be able to report on them authentically and engender trust. So, what's the strategy here? Consistency is the byword here. If you're consistent in your words and actions, then you become more authentic and can be trusted more. We've all had the experience of seeing someone say one thing and do another. What impression does that leave? You immediately realize that the person is a hypocrite or a con at worst, or doesn't know what they're talking about at best. So, to avoid giving off that impression, always make sure that your actions match your words. This goes for the way you describe you, your product, and how you keep your promises to the people buying from your site. One way to establish authenticity is to either bank on your own reputation or someone else's who has a well-known reputation. You build a reputation through social networking that carefully represents the image you want for your company or product. Or if you don't want to go through all that trouble, you find ways to associate with people who have already done that, have a high degree of credibility, and then get them to endorse your product or services. I somewhat agree with that. However, you shouldn't stake your entire business on that. Be clear about whether all your copy, all your products, and your public images are in line with the way you want people to perceive you. If you genuinely believe in what you are selling, that will come through and people will catch your enthusiasm simply from the power of your own self trust. However, the same is true if you are careful with the copy or images you are portraying. If you sell diet products and you are 50 pounds overweight, people will notice it, even if not consciously. You don't want to put your image on the website if you are seriously overweight because it shows you aren't being authentic about helping people lose weight. So much of this strategy is about being aware. Be aware what image you are projecting. Be aware what topics or writing is subconsciously influencing your potential buyer. Be sure that anything you associate with, whether it be celebrity or an affiliate, be in line with the image you want for you and your product. Secondly, always deliver more than what you promise, and your authenticity and integrity score will shoot through the roof. So, what are the psychological triggers? If you're engaged in online marketing and you're trying to sell products or services without even knowing a potential prospect, the need for authenticity increases. It has taken quite a bit of time for people to begin to trust e-commerce. And many of the reasons for that is because of the potential for being conned online. Visitors will be trying to engage your authenticity from every piece of email, copy, blog, or image they view. They want to know that you are trustworthy enough to deliver what you say you can deliver. After all, no one wants to send money uh, and either get nothing or a very bad product in return. Since they can't even touch the product they are requesting, it becomes more important they trust the vendor enough to deliver what they promise. When you go retail shopping, you can look into someone's eyes and get a feel for whether someone is trying to con you or not. The cues for that behavior may be subtle, but people have a sixth sense about these things. They want that firm handshake, that eye to eye contact, that honesty, and that ability to resolve their issue for them. In addition, they like to be able to view a product before they actually buy it. They might want to touch it or try it out first. Well, when all of that is denied, they have to rely on someone else's word for whether they are engaging in a good transaction or whether they are just throwing money away. In order to relieve that anxiety, you implement the strategy to increase your level of authenticity to promote a sense of mutual trust. But how are you going to do that online when they can't even see your face, much less touch the product? So, how to implement effectively? The key is in the subtle cues that are given off by all your interactions with a potential buyer. Make sure that every one of your interactions reflects exactly the image you want for your company, your products, or your services. Things to look for in your copy or interactions that could set off doubt in your buyer's mind are things like over exaggerating your product's benefits or speaking out of context from the image you want to portray. The best way to avoid some of these subtle patterns of speech that can trigger doubt about your authenticity is to pay attention or to avoid marketing anything you don't believe in 100%. Let's face it, if you're selling acne products and you've either never tried it because you never experienced an outbreak, or you tried it and it failed to work for you, when you go to sell that product, the lack of enthusiasm and belief will shine through the choice of words, the images you use, and any other interactions. It's a part of you, and despite the fact that you may try to convince yourself that this is a really worthwhile product that's worth marketing, because acne products sell well on the internet, you will find that if you don't believe in it, your words and interactions will take on a subtle tone of over exaggeration or bland endorsement. Worse, when someone contacts you directly to ask you what your experience was with the product, you may even have to outright lie to save face. This isn't to suggest that you shouldn't sell that particular acne product. The problem is the way you implement the strategy. If you are endorsing it personally, you are going to want to have some good experience with the product to remain authentic while selling it. If you are simply choosing acne products as your main market, then you can include it with other acne products that you know do work and simply rate it lower than the others or leave it unrated. That way, you maintain a degree of authenticity while being able to promote more products. And you may find a way to engage your visitor by asking them to rate the products themselves for others. Then you not only get authenticity from unpaid for reviews, but you didn't have to put up your own reputation in the process. Forms of this strategy are the celebrity sponsor who tells everyone that they've used your product and like them. Just be sure it is a celebrity that reflects your values and the product's proper image. If your celebrity just got convicted of dogfighting or racketeering charges, you would not want them endorsing your pet product. Social networking also takes this strategy to new heights. If you have a discussion group or forum and you have a new product, you can offer the product out to the first 10 people who ask for it in exchange for a review of it on your site. Since many discussion groups, social networking sites, and forums have a large audience, you end up picking up a great deal of authenticity by using random people who will give their honest opinion on your product. Just be sure they are good products and good reviews. So let's finish by talking about timing this strategy. The timing for this is right in the middle of your sales presentation. Once your sales prospect is engaged and they are a loyal visitor to your site or a subscriber to your blog, etc., or endeavor to be consistent and trustworthy in all your interactions. This will help to keep people coming back again and again. Another time to use this is when you are putting out brand new products. Have to attract new sales, and banking on your reputation is one way to help spur the belief that this new product is just as good, if not better than your other products. Engage others to review your product too, and this will help to spur sales. Capitalize on the authentic image you've already created with your past customers. That's the time to market people who already trust you by making sure they are updated on all the new products that you are selling. This can lead to many repeat sales. Finally, the best way to establish authenticity is to deliver what you promise. When you promise it, some people try to do this even better by always delivering more than they promise and earlier than expected. That gives them a little leeway should the post office screw up the timing or something else happens. So, if you want to be perceived as being truly authentic, strive to take control of all aspects of your business from delivery to customer support. Failure in any of these areas will reduce your authenticity because it reflects badly on the consistency of the promises you make and what is finally delivered. If you want to see if your authenticity is being questioned, simply send out customer satisfaction surveys on a regular basis or after an online transaction. These are pretty easy to implement on your site and can help you find areas that are not meeting the high standards of consistency that you want to maintain. You can have these collated monthly for review and or endeavor to contact people who put in negative feedback immediately without delay. This helps to reduce the impact of any failure in your consistency and can even increase your authenticity if you manage to resolve a problem that has plagued a customer who didn't know what to do or who to contact to resolve the issue. It also shows you care about your customer. And I will say that one of the most important things about being authentic is being there for your client or your customer and making sure they feel like you care. And at the end of the day, like I've had many business owners in my life that have influenced me in the things that I do. And they say, you don't have to care, literally, but you absolutely have to act like you care. So take that strategy, implement it, engender trust, and ensure your message is authentic on all the platforms that you're currently using. That rounds out this video. We'll see you on the next video.